Hello again. This is Rob Wagner with MyCloudIT, and I wanted to continue our discussion about delivering management value through the MyCloudIT portal. Today, we're going to talk about backups and see how we can protect our customers and their data. The first thing when we go into backups for a new deployment, first time you come in, you get to choose the redundancy configuration for backups. By default, we choose geo-redundant. A geo-redundant storage says Azure's going to keep 3 copies of data in the Azure region that you've deployed into, 3 additional copies of backup data in the replication partner of the region you deployed into. So for this deployment, we've deployed into the East US data center, which means the replication partner is West US. So in the United States, replication partners are across the country from each other. And if you'll notice in all the other Azure deployments except for Brazil, there's always 2 Azure regions in a geography, country, let's say, and they're replication partners with each other. By default, I'm going to leave this as geo-redundant storage, which means 3 copies of the backup data in the local data center, 3 copies in the West data center. And I'm going to click Submit here. This will take a minute as it creates these storage accounts the backup data will be stored in. Okay. Now our storage group has been created as geo-redundant storage, and it lists all the virtual machines that are currently in our deployment. So hint number 1, if you add new virtual machines you want to back up, you're going to have to come back into the deployment and do that. But as we talk about what our session hosts do, from a data perspective, they should be static. Our data should reside primarily on our management server, which could hold file shares as well as the user profile disks, the user's data. So what I'm going to do is show you how to set up backup for the management server. Go ahead and click Edit. What you'll see here is the management server has 3 volumes. The C drive, that's where the OS resides, and this is a file-based backup solution. So we can back up the Active Directory database if we choose C, but we're not going to get the whole system state backup in case we have to rebuild that VM. System state backup would be if you do a snapshot of the running virtual machine itself. And if you have questions about that, you're welcome to shoot us an email at support@mycloudit.com, and we'll cover how we can help you back up that whole VM image. We're also going to back up our user profile disks. So each user's profile is redirected into a virtual hard drive and stored here on the profile disk. And then shared storage, because I created an extra volume for that shared drive everybody wants to leverage. So we can turn that on as well. And now we click Continue. And this takes us to our backup screen, where we define both daily and weekly backup schedules. It's important to remember that if you're going to use the scheduler to start up and shut down your deployment, you need to make sure that your backups run when your deployment is up and running. If you schedule a backup outside of the normal runtime window, backup will automatically start the next time your deployment is restarted. So if you start your deployment at 7:30 in the morning, getting ready for an 8 o'clock login, not only are you going to have the login occur, but backup is also going to run during that time period, and we're just going to make the login experience tougher for everybody. So I like to choose a daily backup of noon. And then from a weekly backup, we can choose to back up at noon, only Monday through Friday, every week. So this gives us the ability to have this weekly backup only for the 5 business days, not Sunday and Saturday. Click Continue. Now we're setting retention ranges. So what I want to do is I want to retain the first Monday backup every week and keep that for 52 weeks. I then want to move to monthly retention. So again, I want to keep the first Monday of the first week for 36 months or 3 years. I then have yearly retention. So the first Monday of the first week of the beginning of every quarter. So you could keep every month for as long as you want, and the only cost really is the amount of storage we're going to use within Azure. This gives us a very granular configuration for our backup. We then click Continue. It basically reads to us what we're doing. So backups will be taken weekly, Monday through Friday at noon, every week. We're going to retain the Monday backups for 52 weeks. We're going to retain the weekly backups for 3 years. And we're going to keep the quarterly backups for a 10-year retention period. We click Submit here. And then this is going to get started setting this up. So this will create a new job, and we'll see it in the notification. Success. Once that job is finished, you'll be able to click refresh and see that new schedule showing up here. Okay, so our backups have been successfully set up for the management server. What we did in the back end was we automated the install of the Azure Backup Agent. So went ahead and deployed that to the management server, then went ahead and set the backup policies you had asked for. We can drill into edit here and again walk through everything we set up if you want. This is the end of how do I set up the backup process. At a later time we'll talk about restorations, but the quick hint, restoring to the actual management server for lost files, you just connect into that virtual machine, start the Azure Backup Wizard, and then you can do restore. If you have to restore to a different server, my suggestion is deploy a new server into this deployment, install the agent on that, and then do a restore that way. But anyway, that's all I wanted to cover today. We'll talk about more of it later. Thank you for watching, and I wish you well.